In previous videos on energy management, I've defined some terms, given rather bad analogies, and discussed system efficiency. In this video, I want to talk about safety when dealing with lithium systems. I'm not an expert in this, so keep that in mind and do your own research. I'm just trying to explain some basic concepts. It would be a good idea to do your own research on the subject to learn more. When people talk about lithium batteries, they tend to envision them as all the same. But the technology and composition of these batteries can be quite different. It's like saying fuel when talking about gasoline or diesel. Both provide energy, but in different ways.
You really don't want to put diesel in a gasoline engine.
There are different types of lithium chemistries and even different grades, or qualities, of lithium. I've talked a little bit about this in a previous video. The type of lithium battery used is dependent on what the battery's intended use is. Each lithium chemical makeup gives different properties for different uses. They are designed to store a lot of energy, or release that energy quickly, or even to last a long time between charges. When talking about RVs, there seem to be two types of lithium battery technologies in common use: lithium iron phosphate, or LFP, and nickel manganese cobalt, or NMC. Generally speaking, LFP battery technology is less energy dense. In other words, it doesn't hold as much energy as do NMC batteries. And this means if you compare an LFP and NMC battery that have the same mass, the NMC battery will have more watt-hours of capacity than the LFP battery. Now, LFP batteries are considered a somewhat safer chemistry than NMC batteries, which have a slightly greater chance to combust. But remember that we've been using gasoline technology in our cars for generations, and they are up to 100 times more prone to fires than any electric vehicle on the market today. LFP batteries also tend to last longer than NMC batteries before needing to be replaced, but this is highly dependent on the quality of the battery chemistries and how they're used. Also note, NMC batteries charge faster than LFP batteries. To do so, they must be designed to dissipate the increased heat generated. Now, the information I'm presenting here is from various articles and publications, some of which I've linked in the description below. Keep in mind, each author believes one battery technology is superior to the other and writes, in my opinion, rather one-sidedly. I don't prefer one chemistry or technology over another. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. And the reality is, unless you're designing and building your own RV, you don't get to choose between NMC or LFP batteries. You get whatever the manufacturer uses in their build. So what does this all have to do with safety? Well, first off, we have to define what we mean by safe. As I said before, gasoline engines are far more likely to cause car fires than any EV ever has to date. And yet, we all get in our cars each day without worrying about a fire, even though gasoline is about 30 times more energy dense than lithium chemistries. In other words, safety isn't just chemistry. It's also system design. That's why we don't have issues with driving around with gas tanks full of combustible fuel. They are designed to be as safe as possible. Now, there are a lot of reports concerning lithium batteries that have overheated and burned, known as thermal runaway. Basically, it happens when the temperature inside a battery reaches a point which causes a chemical reaction that produces more heat, which causes a chemical reaction that produces more heat, which causes a chemical reaction that produces more heat. Ultimately, the energy stored in the battery is released very suddenly. Although battery chemistry can play a part in this process, these reports are somewhat misleading. They don't mention the battery chemistry or the quality of the batteries, instead assuming all lithium batteries are the same. And yet, many of these issues were caused by lower-grade lithium, poor battery design, inefficient battery management, or all three. Our Embassy Owners and Wannabes group has just turned 2 years old, and we're waiting for you to join. If you have any interest in Embassy RVs, it's a place to hang out and get to know other wannabes and owners too. There are even ways to get to see an Embassy in the wild. So come on by and say hi. The link is in the description below. Be seeing you. Safety is of course a concern, but don't let sensational headlines influence or exasperate you. Think about what you can do to reduce the chances of thermal runaway by first understanding some of the major causes: short circuits, battery damage, overheating the battery, overcharging the battery, or a high discharge rate. Hopefully the battery has been designed to help prevent a short circuit from affecting the battery directly. This is usually accomplished with a battery management system. Needless to say, a cheap system has to cut corners to be cheap, so be careful. Battery damage will probably only happen if you're in an accident, or then only if that accident somehow reaches the battery in such a way that it actually causes damage. Of course, if you start messing with the battery, that's on you. Overheating can be minimized by storing the battery within the specification listed by the manufacturer. Cheaper batteries may have a limited temperature range, and even a very hot day could be an issue. Well-designed lithium batteries should handle heat more efficiently, especially with good ventilation that can mitigate temperature issues. Overcharging a battery beyond its safe maximum voltage may permanently damage the battery and cause thermal runaway, while rapid charging may lead to excessive current, which will also cause thermal runaway. A properly designed and implemented battery management system will help prevent these issues. It should be able to manage and monitor discharge rates, the state of charge, the temperature and the voltage, and if the battery is designed to handle high charge and discharge rates, even better. So there you have it. Well, at least what I've been able to glean from the internet and other research. Of course, there's always more to learn, but it's a start. Be seeing you.